Here's the deal. What if I told you there's a meal out there that not only tastes amazing but could also help reduce plaque in your arteries and even prevent heart disease? Sounds like magic, right? Well, it's not. It's science. Today, we're diving deep into the heart-healthy foods you need to be eating to keep those arteries clean and strong. Forget what not to eat for a minute. Let's focus on the delicious, nutrient-packed meal that could save your heart. Ready to dig in? Let's get started. Let's talk about the best meal that you could eat to help reduce plaque in your arteries or even help prevent cardiovascular disease. Now, I've done a lot of videos on what to avoid to prevent heart disease. Today, I'm going to primarily focus on what to eat. Okay, but what causes plaque in the arteries? First, we have to give you a little background on what is going on behind the scenes regarding cardiovascular disease. And primarily, we're going to talk about plaque. Now, what is in plaque? Plaque is a combination of calcium, protein, and cholesterol. Many times, the calcium is the result of biofilms. So what's a biofilm? It's a colony of microbes that have built these little calcium igloos or shells to protect themselves so they can go underneath the radar. When you see calcium plaque in the arteries, underneath that plaque, there could be a microbial community. Biofilms tend to accumulate on roughened edges. If the arteries were nice and smooth and strong, they probably wouldn't accumulate on the arteries. But the question is, what causes them to get stuck on the inside of the artery wall, like in your coronary artery, for example? Well, that would be some lesion, oxidation, inflammation, or damage from excessive sugar in the diet. You could be diabetic or pre-diabetic. It could come from omega-6 fatty acids, junk foods, alcohol, and other things. So, when you see plaquing and high LDL cholesterol, you'll also see a very specific kind, the small, dense particle size, that's correlated with a high sugar, high carb diet. Some of this cholesterol in this little package, which is what LDL is a protein that carries cholesterol. Cholesterol doesn't exist as free-floating cholesterol in the arteries. It's always in a little shuttle bus. The cholesterol comes in the form of a band-aid with cement, the calcium, and also fibrous tissue, a protein like cement that mixes with the calcium and cholesterol as a band-aid. Then, you'll see a thrombus, or a clot forming in that same area. Given that information, what can we do to prevent, slow down, or reverse this situation? Several things can help. One of the controlling vitamins with calcium is vitamin K2. Vitamin K2 drives calcium into the bone. Without enough K2, calcium tends to develop in the soft tissues of the body, not just in your arteries, but also in the joints. One more point about biofilms. Something is interesting about biofilms, especially when it comes to plaquing in your arteries. Several studies link periodontal bacteria, the bacteria in your mouth, to the plaque in your arteries. It's interesting because these pathogenic bacteria in your mouth somehow end up in the arteries. In your mouth, there are over 700 different species, not just of bacteria, but different types of bacteria. One reason why bacteria can go through your gums into your bloodstream is the same reason bacteria can leak from your intestines into your bloodstream. That's called bacterial translocation. For example, bleeding gums can allow microbes to enter your bloodstream through these little holes. So, high vitamin C foods are necessary for this meal. Foods with large amounts of vitamin C would be a good addition. Then we have vitamin E, which is very important for keeping your cardiovascular system intact. Vitamin E helps prevent lesions on the inside of the artery wall, known as endothelial tissue. When you're low in vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant, you can experience more oxidation and inflammation. Vitamin E is also important for the heart muscle, keeping your oxygen levels high and preventing a heart attack. We've covered vitamin K2, vitamin C, and vitamin E. Another crucial aspect of heart health is keeping your omega-6 fatty acids low and omega-3 fatty acids high. Omega-3 fatty acids should be an essential part of your meal. So, what should this meal look like? Let's start with omega-3 fatty acids. A food very high in omega-3 is wild-caught salmon. Including salmon in this meal will provide a good amount of omega-3 fatty acids, supporting both the arteries and the heart muscle. Having enough omega-3 can also reduce inflammation in the arteries and even lower blood pressure. Another important food for preventing and potentially reversing arterial plaque is sauerkraut. It has 7 times the recommended daily amount of vitamin C and is one of the most microbe-dense foods, providing strong probiotic effects with high levels of lactic acid bacteria. Lactic acid bacteria, a group involved in fermentation, acts as an ACE inhibitor to help lower blood pressure, inhibit biofilms, and decrease cardiovascular disease risk by supporting gut health. There's a strong connection between a healthy gut and a healthy heart. Lactic acid bacteria can also help regulate LDL cholesterol, especially the small, dense particle size. Additionally, it enhances the production of secondary bile salts, improving the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins like vitamin E, vitamin D, and vitamin K2, all of which support cardiovascular health. Sauerkraut is loaded with vitamin K2, which helps keep calcium out of the arteries. The last part of this meal is a big arugula salad. Arugula is a superior salad green compared to regular lettuce because it's a cruciferous vegetable, supporting liver health, lowering blood glucose levels, and reducing biofilms. It's also rich in fiber, potassium, and other heart-healthy nutrients. Adding extra virgin olive oil, rich in anti-inflammatory properties, will further boost heart health. You can also add apple cider vinegar or balsamic vinegar, both of which have properties that lower the risk of cardiovascular disease by regulating blood sugar, cholesterol, and bile salts while providing anti-inflammatory effects. Toss in some sunflower seeds for a vitamin E boost, and you have a well-rounded meal. Finally, add some hard cheese like Parmigiano Reggiano. This cheese is loaded with vitamin K2 and probiotics, and its high production standards make it a great addition to any heart-healthy meal. To top it off, include garlic, known for its blood thinning, blood pressure lowering, and antimicrobial properties. Now that you have this information, I think the next best video for you to watch and amaze. Check it out. I've put it right here, right?